Hello, everybody. It is Beyond the Barricade, and I am your host. I am Papa Dank. Big deal Danks over here, coast to coast Dank, coming at you live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So before we get into our guests, let me say something real quick. First of all, I want to send out huge congratulations for Chris Statlander's return the other night and winning that TBS championship and beating Jade Cargill's record. Now, she was a former guest before AEW and a staple at VPW. And I just want to say, hey, congrats, Kristen. Well deserved, well deserved. And more VPW news. It was announced today that Valentina Vasquez, the women's champion, will not be at the June 10th show, but the unwilting Tatiana will still be making her debut, and we'll have another opponent with details to follow. Make sure you go to victoryprowrestling.com to get your tickets for that event on June 10th. If we can get the graphic up. There it is. It is justified, and it's coming June 10th. Go to victoryprowrestling.com to get your tickets for that show. There's a lot of stuff going on. I haven't been on in a few days. Big holiday weekend, Memorial Day weekend. I was able to go out to NYWC on Saturday, right here in Long Island, New York. And I had the privilege of hanging out with my good pal, Dickie Rods. I want to thank Dickie for all his support. Appreciate you, buddy. I want to congratulate Tommy Rand and Sage, the Slime Balls. They are the big winners of that Heart and Soul Cup. So congratulations to them. And there's another one in here. I don't know if it's still in here. Maybe not. All right, I'll bring that up another time. But anyway, one more thing I need to bring up. MCW is doing an anti-bullying tour. And I talked with MCW, and I want to join the anti-bullying tour. So I'm going to create a special sticker with this logo and my logo. And every sticker that is bought for $5 will go to an anti-bullying special fund that MCW will distribute. So I want to thank them for letting me be a part of this. Very important subject to me. Nobody should have to be bullied in school or anywhere else. But, there's Carl. What's going on, Carl? How's it going? The chats are lighting up. Sabrina, welcome to the chat. And without further ado, let me bring out the champ himself, JPJ. How's it going?
What's going on, Papa Dank?
What's going on? I hope I wasn't too long, man.
No, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, man. It's been quite the weekend over here, man. Busy weekend over here in Long Island.
For me too. Friday night started with taking out good old Smitty and beating him for the legacy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I guess now you can say that I am the undisputed MCW Legacy Heavyweight Champion now.
Wow. Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Oh, man. Poor Smitty.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people's got to see his Facebook. I kicked his teeth through his bottom lip at one point, so he's pretty banged up right now.
Ouch. Well, speedy recovery to poor Smitty over there.
Yeah, just stay away from me for a little bit. Yeah.
Man, this chat's lighting up, man. Every time somebody from MCW comes on, the chat lights up, brother.
That's good. I mean, we got a big following at MCW. This is probably, I think, my fourth podcast I've got to do in the last month. I've got another one coming up Sunday.
Oh, wow.
So just being able to do podcasts, get the MCW brand out there, get my brand out there. It's been, it's been awesome. And, I got to admit, Harry and David Clapp, they're doing great things with MCW, and the roster itself is growing, but we're also, now we're on this anti-bullying deal. We're trying to get the word out there to any kid or, any young adult that, that's being bullied. Hey, come down, check us out. We're here for you. We're going to stand behind you, and we're going to kick bullying in its ass. I was bullied as a child. I can't say once I started growing and getting bigger that, I wasn't a part of that either. I don't like to lie to the fans. I become I guess once you get picked on so much and you get tired of it, you start picking back a little bit. And so as a young adult, I was known as a bully. And when I get the chance to be a bad guy, I'm known as the bully with the brains. So But no, I think it's a great thing that we're doing. When it was approached to me about it, 100% was behind it, and we'll stand behind it.
Awesome. Myself as well. Crystal says, love us some JPJ. MCW is one big family from Sabrina.
Right.
I can tell. Just a couple of guests that I've had, I can tell. Even those Devil's Rejects, man, they creep me out, brother. They creep me out.
Well, yeah, they creep me out too. But I've known them for a while. The crazy thing about MCW is, a lot of us work Bluff City Championship Wrestling, which is out of Memphis. It's kind of our little TV deal that we do, that we've been doing this invasion gimmick with, and it's really crazy because the MCW fans make up 90% of the audience, so the crowd during them tapings, and it's just awesome because everyone's wearing the MCW shirts, and
it's awesome.
The few fans that are there for Bluff City that are fans of the guys from Bluff City, MCW's kind of shut them up. It's just they're there. We're a family. They come in droves, and you can't silence the MCW fans, as you know, doing the podcast with the MCW guys for the past few weeks. You can't silence.
I think someone from the chat want to start a GoFundMe so I can show up when they.
Right.
Hold on a sec. Hey, JPJ and Papa Dank. Hey, Serena. JPJ, I'm here. The party can start, says Becky.
Yeah.
Wow. Becky also says MCW rocks. I see. They all have big mouths, Carl. All right, let's start off with how you fell in love with professional wrestling.
Oh man, I have this. I tell this story all the time when people ask me. I think I was about 3 years old. I grew up in a small town in Arkansas called Manila, Arkansas. Mm-hmm. My grandfather was a farmer, and I spent almost every weekend with my grandfather and my grandmother. And luckily enough, in the mornings, we had Memphis wrestling, which we called it Channel 5 growing up. And then as I got older, it became Power Pro. But Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, guys like that.
Jerry Lawler, yeah.
But my grandfather would be at home that morning, and he would legit watch, Memphis wrestling. So that was my first introduction to it. But the first recollection besides that, was we had a small little store, video store called Miranda's Videos. My very first tape I ever rented was the Macho Man wedding with him and Miss Elizabeth.
I love that.
so that was my introduction to WWF, WWE as it is now. That was my first introduction to that, which, I mean, growing up, I knew Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, Brian Christopher, all the guys that come through Memphis.
Right.
I knew who Hulk Hogan was, but once I got into that, then I started just falling in love with it. I started tape trading with different people. The very first tape I ever traded, I got a tape, and I can't remember the year, but it was Harley Race versus Dusty Rhodes was the main event, and it was it wasn't. I don't think it was a televised match. It was just something some fan had captured on a video camera back in, I want to say it was 81. So that was, and then I fell in love with that too. So I've been in love with this business since I was 3 years old.
Wow. Now people don't remember, and especially the newer generations, weren't even exposed to it. But tape trading was a big deal back then.
Right. And see, and I guess even my generation, tape trading was kind of going out of style, because we were, I'm not too old to not remember not having a cell phone, but I'm not too young to, say that I wasn't one of the first people or first generation to get the cell phones. Right. I remember being in high school and YouTube was just becoming a thing. And I think I spent a better part of 2 years, my junior and senior year, just watching wrestling videos every time I got to go to the computer lab.
Right. Yeah, YouTube just opened up a whole world out there.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, now that you went, oh, hold on a sec. Oh, they got anti-bully shirts. So make sure you get in touch with Amber to find out how you can get your shirt. We got a comment on tapes. Tapes went to DVDs around that time.
Right.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I remember the VHS. I remember the Betamaxes.
Yeah, see, that's a little bit before my time. Like I was still VHS, which is crazy. Because I still have, I'm going to say 20 to 30 VHS tapes full of wrestling from
Wow.
anywhere from 70, probably 75 to early 90s. And, I kept the ones that I thought were like my favorite, had my favorite matches on them. So I just kept them. Too bad I don't have a VHS player anymore, but I still, I still have them.
Right. Damon says all proceeds will go towards the scholarship MCW is working on for the shirts, and the shirts are $25. That's important that
Awesome.
people get those shirts everywhere in the United States, right? Coast to coast.
Right.
All right, let's go to where did you go start trading to where your career to make professional wrestling?
I started in a small town in Hoxie, Arkansas. I had a company called Out of Control Wrestling. They call it OCW, like for short. But yeah, I started there. Man, I don't like saying bad stuff about promotions I've worked for, and I kind of keep it light. But I trained 3 weeks in a row, and they automatically wanted to put me in the ring. I was a big guy, big burly guy, and they thought, they thought they struck gold with me. Now I cared enough that my first day, the guy that was training me, which become my closest friend in the world, my former tag team partner, he had a hand in training me. But my first day, I remember asking, like, man, I want to know. I can do all this other stuff. I can do the moves. I can do everything, but I want to learn the psychology of the business. And and I know there's some kids watching, but the funny thing about that is like he, for whatever reason, and if you ever meet him, you'll understand it. But he said, "Man, you just gave me a hard on because nobody asked the first day about psychology, and but I cared why I was doing stuff." But yeah, so after that, I'll throw another old name out there, Moondog Spot. His son was also working for the same promotion, and he just so happened to be there the third week. And after training was over, he pulled me to the side and said, "Hey man, you're not ready." And I totally agreed. And so I went back to my hometown where he had a little building with a ring in it, and I started training. His name was James Lee Booker. Started training with him. I trained for nearly, about 6 months under him, and then went back to the same promotion and started working and worked 6 months against the same guy and had probably the most god awful matches I can remember, but had some of the funniest things looking back, in 11 years of being in the business. Some of the funniest things that happened to me happened during the first 6 months.
That's awesome. All right. We could talk about that a little bit, what some of the funny stuff happened. But let's go into the first match you had with someone. The first professional match in front of a crowd.
First match was it was me and a young man that they called Key Awesome. We tagged against the Outsiders, and there were so many of them. I can't remember what their actual names were because there was a bunch of them. So the first two, I don't really remember. But like I said, it was god awful. We had a miscommunication on a bunch of stuff. And man, I was excited to be there, but after it was over, I went back, sat down. I was like, this was a drizzling shit. It's like I'll never have another bad match like that again. And luckily, I haven't had that bad of a match since.
Okay, all right. Let's go into favorite opponent you've wrestled in your career so far. Why?
I've got 3.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so one wasn't just he really wasn't my opponent, it was more of the show that I was on. I got an opportunity to work for WLW, which is Leland Race, which is Harley Race's son,
Okay.
out of Missouri. We had a show in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and this was about 3 months ago. And I got to work with Bob Orton Jr., which was, growing up, I was a huge Roddy Piper fan. So getting to work with Bob Orton Jr., Ace was just like an awe. And the fact that there was 1,400 people chanting "F you" to me because I was a bad guy and they couldn't stand me. So like that was awesome. But
a lot of heat.
yeah, right. But my two favorite opponents of my career are Dante Smiley, who's works out of a company called SOAR. He's the OIWA international champion, which is Sir Mo's organization, and working him, I got to work him for 2 years off and on, and we just had some matches that honestly have, like I said, been, if not my favorite matches, my best matches. And then the other one is Michael Elgin. Growing up, being a heavyweight, being a big guy, watching Michael Elgin in New Japan, watching Michael Elgin on Impact, watching Michael Elgin, at Glory Pro and all the places that he worked, getting the opportunity to work him and just find out how good he actually is, and to be able to hold my own with him, that was an honor. But we ended up having 3 matches, and each match got better and better as it went. So,
okay, awesome. An opponent that you wanted to wrestle but you never had a chance to.
Oh,
and
man.
Why?
All right, so I gotta say it because he's my mentor and a really close friend. Brutal Bob Evans is a match that I could have probably had if I'd asked for it, because I've worked several shows with him now. Actually, just got done texting him about 10 minutes ago about a show in Pennsylvania I'm going to this coming up month. But
nice.
No, getting to work Brutal Bob Evans, that's a match that I want. I hope before either he retires or I retire, I get to do it. But no, every show we've been on together, it's either he's been tagging with TM, with Tough Guy Inc., or he's already got something else going on. So we just never got to lock horns, I guess.
Gotcha. Now, how far in the United States have you traveled to?
Let's see. So I've been, I think, 9 states now, but the farthest was Zanesville, Ohio, and that was right at about 9.5 hours for me. Which next month, like I said, I'll be in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, and that'll be the longest I've traveled, or the farthest I've traveled.
Okay. Which state do you want to go to that you haven't been to?
It's not really a state. Like, I want to go to every state, but I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Canada.
I was gonna go over that.
Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I want to wrestle anywhere and everywhere. I can't single out one state that I'd like to work in over the other. Right. But I can't country, because Japan is where I want to go and where I'd like to land and stay.
Okay. All right. If you wanted to go to Japan, I assume you want to go to wrestling New Japan Pro Wrestling. Is there anybody? No.
Yeah, New Japan's the mecca, of Japanese wrestling of strong style, and and like I'd love to go work New Japan, but there's also Pro Wrestling Noah, which a few of my friends or close colleagues have got to go work, and that's where if I got to start there, that's where I'd like to go start, get my feet wet, and then work up to go into New Japan.
Okay. Anybody in particular that you would want to wrestle over there?
Man, I mean, no, not really. I want to wrestle anybody.
Right.
Yeah, nobody. Like, that's the thing. Like, I know a few months ago people were making top 10 lists of guys they want to wrestle and guys they want to work. Man, I don't have a top 10 list. I want to wrestle everybody. I don't care if you're a high flyer. I don't care if you're a big heavyweight. I don't care if you're a big giant. Like, bring them,
Just
bring them
bring them
on.
on. Bring them on.
Bring them. Like, yeah, I'm all about challenging myself. I'm all about making, like I can't. I didn't get in this business to be the second best heavyweight in the world. I didn't get in it to be the top 5. I got in to be the best heavyweight in the world. And, I don't go to the gym and work out every day. I don't train, 3 to 4 times a week. I don't do that just to be some average wrestler out there. And Carl just like anytime, Carl. I'm not backing. I don't back down from anybody. I'm confident in what I can do. And I just, man, I love either one, telling a great story. I love 2, making guys that I'm in the ring better, and just, keeping my edge, making sure that I'm still, on that right path, because I'm still young. I still got time to get wherever I want to go. And that's the biggest thing, is just making sure that, if I'm going to say that I want to be the best heavyweight in the world, that's what I'm going after.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if it's, a guy like Ricky Morton, who's been in the business 50 years. I'll wrestle Ricky tomorrow if he called me and said, "Hey, let's do something."
Okay.
And same thing with, guys from Japan. Anyone, I'm telling you, that's the one place that they could call me right now, and Papa Dank, I'm sorry,
I'm headed that way. Are you a big fan of strong style?
I'm a big fan of Japanese wrestling. I mean, it's not, in general. I mean, but I'm a fan of wrestling in general. Like, to say strong style, it's kind of, you got to kind of define strong style. My style is more based in strong style. Like my stuff is heavy hitting, with like Memphis roots of storytelling and Cody Brown. Yeah. But no, like, I'm a huge fan of strong style. When Nakamura was there, that was the first, like, him and AJ Styles was the first time I got to see that style, or where everybody was talking about strong style. And, then I started watching tapes back from, Bryan Danielson going to Pro Wrestling Noah and working and using his style. And it's just a more smash mouth style, which like lends to me, and then go back further to late 70s, early 80s. You got Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody before he passed. Right. But you had them, and I feel like they were the originators of the strong style. And, that's what I do here, in the South, but I do it with more of a Japanese flair.
Okay.
And you can thank Michael Elgin for that, because, being around him and kind of studying him for years, he was one of the first ones that I've noticed had worked that style. And then after I got to work him, I realized we were really similar in our styles, just he'd been doing it a little longer than I have.
Okay. Serena has a question. Who's the one person from MCW that you haven't wrestled yet that you'd like to wrestle?
One person at MCW. I've never wrestled Harry. We've tagged against each other, but never one-on-one. I've never wrestled Carl one-on-one.
I think Carl's ready.
Right. That's probably the only 2. I would love to get in there with either one of them. But if I had to say it, by the environment right now, Carl would probably win that.
Okay. Carl?
Carl is a heat magnet. And me being a babyface, I think that's money.
What do you prefer, babyface or heel for yourself?
Oh man, like they're so different.
Yes.
Yeah, well, for me, they're really different. Babyface, I like it. I love hearing the crowd chant my name. My music, they sing it when I walk it out. So like, I love that part of that. Awesome. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. I was telling a friend of mine. She's a message. I was telling her, like, it was her first experience getting to see me Friday night as a babyface because she's only known me as a heel. And so I was like, it's going to be different because, you know, everybody's going to be chanting my name or my initials, and then they're going to sing my entrance song. And so on that aspect, it's really awesome. Like my in ring doesn't really change except for when I'm a heel. I'm a little more cockier. I'm a little more brutal with the things that I hit people with. But yeah, heel is fun because it's more of my personality. Like, yeah, like, and I don't mean that. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, it's in general. You know, as a heel, like when you don't like something, you just run off at the mouth, and you know, most of the time being the biggest guy in the room, ain't nobody really going to say nothing. So it's, you know, yeah, I'm not the.
It was different seeing you as a babyface. You as a heel fits you better.
Right. Because as a heel, it's just like I'm going to do what I want to do. Just stop me. You know, as a babyface, you got to play in between the rules. Like, you know,
that's true.
I don't.
No cheating.
You know, you're right. No cheating. But as a heel, it's like I'm going to win by any means necessary. If that means you can't get up at the end of the match, oh well. Like it's kind of like Drago. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah,
you know,
if he dies, he dies.
I mean, it's kind of me as a heel. Like, oh well, if his legs gets broke, like who cares? Like I still won.
Like Smitty, like his face was broke.
right. That was his baby face though. So I'm like, yo, watching him walk up the ramp and seeing this big softball on his lip, I'm like, man, that sucks.
Man, that sucks, bro.
But you know what I mean? Like that sucks, bro. But I got both belts. There you go.
Right. All right, let's talk about your tattoo, man. I'm very intrigued. What does the 1987 stand for?
That was the year I was born. Oh, sorry, wrong side.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. And then my hometown, Manila, which you can't see it very well, but yeah.
I see it. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. Like when I wanted to get into wrestling, and I don't think I've ever said this on a podcast or to anybody out loud.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah. So my dream, and I don't know why it's a dream. Like most people don't even think it's this.
Wait, hold that thought. We got a comment for you from Smitty. Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah. But it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Right.
But you remember back in the day, like you drive into a small town and you'd have home of, you know, whoever the biggest legend in their, you know, in their hometown. Right. Well, you know, my hometown of Manila, we didn't have, you know, we had two guys that wrote songs in Nashville, and I ain't never heard not one of their songs. So, you know, so one of my dreams was like when I go back home to see my parents or my sisters, like I want to drive back there and see like home of Jack Parker Jr., whether it be, you know, WWE superstar, AEW superstar, New Japan superstar, you know, international wrestler, whatever. Like I want, you know, I'd love to see that. And I've had that dream since I started wrestling, and you know, it may never happen. And if it doesn't, oh well, you know. And even if I do get to accomplish everything I want to accomplish, and it doesn't happen, you know what? That's Manila's loss. Like they could have put me up there. Like we could have been. Like you could. I would have donated money for a museum or a school. Like, but no. You don't want to put me up there. Oh well, no. I am beyond proud of where I come from. You know, they call me the Thriller from Manila for a reason because that's, you know, I'm super proud. Funny story: our basketball team at Manila, they won state this year, and Osceola or MCW had a 2-night wrestling show, so I had to miss going to the state tournament to see my, you know, hometown win their first state championship since 1962. But yeah, so it's getting time. Intermission's going. We had went to overtime with the team we were playing, and I had made sure that they didn't let me go out until I found out if they won state or not. So if that tells you how much I do care about where I come from, the one time that I'll choose my hometown over wrestling.
Hey man, yeah, I hear you. That's important. Little things are important in life, so I get it. What do you like to do for fun? What does JPJ like to do?
Oh man,
relax.
Well, when I want to relax, I drink.
Relax, hobby, drink.
I drink, and I drink a lot. No,
I need a drink.
I grew up playing sports, love sports. We'll go to anything. I'll go watch golf, and you know, golf is boring to me, but I'll go watch it. You know, just to get out. No, man. Like honestly, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm not a hunter and a fisher, but I love to go to the river. I love to float the river. There's usually a lot of alcohol involved in that, but you know, but no. Honestly, I I like to chill. That's what I do for fun. Yeah, sleep.
Sleep.
Right.
Listen,
no,
when you're hitting that gym hard, man, you gotta sleep. You gotta let your muscles grow.
Right, and that's the thing that I do more than anything. I wake up, I go to the gym, I work out, get my mind right, go to work. When I'm at the house, I'm just chill. Like I'm not trying to find the next hobby. I'm not trying to find the next thing to do. I may play a little video game, but the biggest thing that I do is like in my hobby now is like I get to watch my kids grow up.
That's awesome.
Right. I have a 16-year-old daughter and I have a 12-year-old son who's big into sports. And my son also will probably be twice as good as I am, if not already. But he's a little bitty and surprised he ain't walked in here yet. Hearing me talk.
Future wrestler?
Oh, absolutely. Like there's no doubt in my mind. Like he's already ready. I just bought his first pair of wrestling shoes.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
he's like
my son too, man. He wants to be a wrestler. He does some of the stuff with me in the vlogs that we do. So he wants to be in the business.
But see, like I said, my son's a lot smaller than me. He's not built like he's built like his mama. He's not built like me. He's really small, but he's a high flyer, and like watching him do stuff and just how carefree and just has no fear whatsoever to do some of the stuff. And I'm like, here I am, been in the business 11 years, and I hate climbing to the top rope, and I'm not even afraid of heights. I'm afraid of the fall, but I'm like, you know, he gets up there and is doing moonsaults and things like that. I'm like, yeah,
that's awesome.
You know, but yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that's what he wants to do, and you know, I'm going to back him, try to send him to the best school, training school I can,
right?
Because you know how it is, kids. Like, there's no way I could train my son. Like,
no. Yeah, I get it.
Kill it, or he'd kill me.
My son wants to go to one of probably the best schools in the country right now, Creative Pro Wrestling.
Oh, really? Yes.
All the big stars are coming out of there.
Right. And see, you know, we down here we have whoever just said PlayStation or Xbox. It's definitely PlayStation.
It was Damon.
Yeah, Damon. PlayStation all day. But no. We have Glenn Jacobs and Tom Pritchard. Their school in Knoxville. I think he wants to go to a dojo though. I think he wants to go to one of the Japan dojos, and I'm, you know, look, if that's what he wants to do, like I'm 100% for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's other schools out here for my son. That's what he wants to do. He wants to go to that school. So
right, and it's wonderful. I've heard nothing but great stuff with Creative Pro.
Yeah. The thing is, the promotion we work for, VPW, a lot of the Creative Pro guys come there.
Right.
To do shows, so we know a lot of the guys there. So he's more comfortable, I guess, going there than any of the other schools that are out here. So
how often does he go to shows?
We do VPW every month.
Every month? Okay. Do you go to other shows outside of VPW?
We went to NYWC, which was Saturday.
Okay.
Not a lot of people there through the podcast. They work at VPW. Some, you know, they're all over. So we went there. I'm now a part of. I'm going to bring it up real quick because I was going to talk about it later. Big promotion from the SATs. You heard of them?
Right. Yes.
Wrestling is Now. They got the show June 16th. I'm part of their social media tour, so I was invited to go be part of that event and do media tour for that, and we'll have some of their stars on later on this month.
Okay.
But so I do that VPW, which I'll bring up. right there. That's coming up June 10th. That's my next show I'll be at. And Leo Sparrow, the one in the corner with the
Yeah.
tattoo on his chest, he just fought
Right.
MJ at Creator Pro.
Yes. Yes.
His like first non-indie wrestling event in a long time.
Right.
So he made big waves of that. So, and then, yeah, I'm going to this thing coming up, New Evolution Wrestling in New Jersey over here. I'll be a part of that too. And right now I'm just getting offers. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go. You got to take every opportunity,
Right. And see, I love it. Like, that's like, I'm a fan at heart. I had an opportunity the weekend that Smitty won the Legacy title, the Friday night before, I cashed in and beat Smitty face to face, but don't let him tell you that I snuck up behind him. He looked me eyeball to eyeball before I beat him. But
that's remarkable too. Yes.
The next weekend, I got the opportunity to go and just be a fan and watch wrestling at MCW and sit with the fans and buy a ticket. And and I'm still a fan. Like, I still, even if I'm not on an indie show, but I get the opportunity to go watch and get to go watch some of my friends, colleagues succeed. Oh, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat.
That's what I like to do. And NYWC, Dickie's, we become friends recently. The winners of the cup, the Slime Balls, I'm really good friends with Tommy Rant, and they're up and comer tag team, man. They're like killing it, man. Killing it out here. They're gonna be big, man. Watch. Well, oh, here we go. Smitty, what?
Yeah, see,
Smitty, you okay, man?
He can't take losing. Like Smitty, it's not that bad, man. Like, look, you got beat. It's okay.
Gotta suck it up and keep going, right?
Right.
When's the rematch? That's what I want to know.
Oh, hopefully not. I mean, whenever.
Smitty woke up again. Yeah.
All right. Whenever, if they want to run it back this weekend, we'll run it back this weekend. If not, whenever management decides they want the rematch, or whenever Smitty just cries enough and I feel sorry for him enough and say, all right, Smitty, let's do it again.
He might need to heal a little bit.
I'll go ahead and put you to sleep again.
When Smitty's mouth heals.
I got to say this about Smitty, though. I didn't realize until a few weeks ago that Smitty was 51 years old. He's only been working 3 years.
I thought he was 53.
Is he 53?
I think he's 53. I think he said he was 53 when he was on the podcast.
I thought he said on the microphone he was 51, but I mean,
he doesn't even know what age he is. That's a problem.
So Smitty's between 51 and 53. But no, he's been working 3 years, and I got to say this: like, the first match I had with Smitty, I was pleasantly surprised, because most guys that have only been in the business 3 years, unless you went to one of these major schools or a school that's established, you're behind. Like, you're not very, psychology's not there. Most of the guys are kind of rigid and kind of rough to work with. Man, I've got to say, like, Smitty come in there, he was a true professional about everything except for the whining and crying the whole time. But we'll forget that part. But I mean, as far as like just bringing it, I mean, I've worked with a lot of guys that's been in the ring, been in the business probably 10 to 15 years longer than Smitty, and I got to admit, like, Smitty brought it. And at the end, I can honestly say that was, especially this year, it's one of my favorite matches of this year, especially Friday night. Just the way everything happened, like, I just, I can't say enough about the guy. When you're, and I know I'm not supposed to talk nice about Smitty, and I'm pretty sure I'll bust him in the mouth another 3 to 4 times before
his career's over, right?
Before his career's over, or before mine's over, like, he'll bust me in the mouth a couple times. But no, Smitty's a good guy, sort of. Yeah. But no, I can't like brag on him too much, because he did try to hurt me. He tried to tear my surgically repaired knee up. So
we got time for one more question. Any great advice from a vet that really hit home for you? Okay, that's a good one.
Oh man, I've had so many different vets that's helped me along the way. Sermo, which was Men on a Mission in WWE, or WWF.
51 and a half, says Smitty, before you continue.
Okay, yeah. See, 51 and a half. Did I
Oh my
knock the
God.
half? Was he 53? Did I knock a year and a half off of his life though? With
You
the
might have. You might
right.
have.
But no, Sir Mo, he gave me the opportunity to go work for SOAR in Dallas, Texas. Put me in front of a bunch of really influential people, and he told me, "Hey, when the opportunity knocks, don't open the door, don't ask who's there, just kick the door in and show them." So we did. They had a seminar. It was Luke Gallows, Alexander Koloff, or Tyson Koloff, and Sin Bodie.
Okay.
And I went, and and I don't think I had a lot of money going into that, but I decided, hey, I'm going to go do this. And I get there, and Mo pulls me aside. We're doing little 5-minute matches, and he pulls me aside, and he said, "This is that opportunity." And I went in, had a killer 5-minute match. At the end of it, got Doc or Luke Gallows, got his phone number, constant contact with him. Well, not as much anymore, but I was in constant contact. Had a couple opportunities right when COVID hit to go do some stuff, and then COVID hit to get away from me. But which is fine. I'm actually one of the lucky wrestlers that got to go back to working a lot sooner than most did. Tyson Koloff got his number. Been in talks with the NWA and doing some stuff with them. Nothing's kind of materialized yet, but I'm not one. I'm not going to cry, when I don't get my way or when things aren't happening as fast as I want them to, and that come from Brutal Bob Evans. Brutal Bob is the guy that I owned a small company here in Arkansas, and I booked Bob to come all the way from New England down. And then something happened where we took a month off, and I had to, unbook him, but I still paid him half of his PO, his deposit. Like he wanted a deposit, so I paid it. Well, then booked him again. And I don't remember, like either we had a snowstorm or something and had to shut the show down again. So I paid him again, and he said, "Hey man, like you might be the only person in the world that would ever just give me the money that, because you had to cancel on me." And when he done that, we become really good friends, talk nightly. Mm-hmm. Went to Salina, Kansas, XWE, and did a Hangs with Bob seminar. And at the seminar, I learned how to make money on the independents. I learned how to make a career if I wanted to out of being an independent wrestler.
Right. A lot of successful careers there.
Right. But the one thing I learned from Bob over the time period from then to going to Salina was, man, like you're pushing so hard to make it. And he said, yeah, it's fine to push that hard to make it, but what are you doing in the meantime? Like you're, if you're working MCW or working these smaller shows like that, what are you doing while you're at these smaller shows? Are you making money, or are you thinking about the next big show you're working? And that's the thing. Like I just slowed down my thinking of like, hey man, it'll happen when it happens, if it happens. And if it doesn't happen, I'll still make money on the independents and be happy. So right before COVID hit, I had 3 weekends in a row. And I mean, I've been doing really good as far as merch sales, but I had 3 weekends in a row where I was bringing in $1,500 to $1,700 on average the last 3 weekends.
Jeez.
So awesome. I found a way to pay my bills through wrestling, on the independents.
That's great, man. That's awesome. Good. All right. We're running out of time. Let's plug where your future appearances coming up and where everybody can follow you.
Right. Well, Friday night, I will be at MCW, hopefully defending the Unified Legacy World Title for MCW. Saturday, I will be in Troy, Missouri for WLW World League Wrestling, taking on Billy Jack or Bobby Jack, Bobby Joe, something with a country name. Taking on him in Troy, Missouri. Sunday, I will be in. I'll be in bed, resting up from resting up for the weekend. Yeah, so if you want to catch me, you can catch me in bed on Sunday.
That's
But no, right. But yeah, MCW is probably the only promotion. Well, next Saturday night, I'll be defending another one of my belts in Trenton, Tennessee at TIWF.
Okay. And where's the Philly show at?
It is in Hamburg. It is AXW, American Excellence Wrestling. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. I've got 2 locations so far. It's either going to be in the Hamburg fire department or fire station, or it will be in. There's another building. I don't know. I'll post it as soon as I find it.
All right, JPJ, where can everybody follow you?
You can follow me on Facebook at Jack Parker Jr. You can follow me on Instagram at Jack Parker Jr. Twitter is beer30/JPJ. TikTok is the same thing. If you want to see some really cool knockouts and dumb ways to die videos, there's a few of them on there. Let's see. You want my OnlyFans too? No, I'm just kidding. I don't OnlyFans, but yeah.
Listen, the OnlyFans is making money. Whoever's got it, they're making money.
Right.
Sabrina says we love us some JPJ.
Well, I love y'all too. But no, I thought about the OnlyFans. I mean, but yeah, I think I'll pass for a little bit. Gotcha. If I get on some hard times, yeah, I'll probably do OnlyFans.
So it's reliable, OnlyFans.
Could you imagine? Okay, before we go off here, Bo, and I thought about this the other day because being we're talking about OnlyFans. You remember Dusty Rhodes' Hard Times promo, and everybody does.
Yes.
Could you imagine if Dusty Rhodes went on Hard Times and had to do OnlyFans?
Look at this comment for you. Feet pictures.
Yeah.
Crystal wants feet pictures.
I can't do feet pictures though because my feet are like Hulk feet. Like I mean, the bangs are everywhere. It's crazy. Like I think this would be weird. Like I don't. Like is that a human foot or is that Bigfoot's foot down there? Like
I think my booker Serena wants to see the Hulk feet.
Okay, I got you, Serena. I will shoot you some Hulk feet.
Crystal says someone might love them.
Yeah, probably not.
All right, everybody. Don't forget the MCW anti-bullying tour continues at MCW. Once the stickers are the graphic is done and the stickers are made, I will let everybody know if they want to purchase them. Shows I'm going to be at, if they want me to mail it to them. We'll figure it out. Papa Dick is trying to start an OnlyFans. I need a GoFundMe so I go to MCW. That's what I need.
Hey, MCW is going to do a calendar after the anti-bullying deal. We're going to do a calendar. All the wrestlers are going to be half naked. All the proceeds go to JPJ.
And Smitty will be in there, right?
Yeah, actually, all the proceeds are going to go to Smitty's dental bill because he's going to be posted. Good thing his brother-in-law is a dentist. So yeah, all the proceeds. The only thing is we're not going to let Smitty be one of them naked.
That's right. Thank you to the MCW fans in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Love everybody. The whole Clap family. Appreciate them all. Love them all. And I'm coming up next with Trey Felipe from CPW, Chosen Pro Wrestling. He's coming up next. JPJ, stand by. Everybody else, have a good night. See you in a few.